Hello, welcome to FountainFX. This is a summary of the week of the 18th of November to the 22nd of November and what's been happening in the markets in this week of 2013. One thing to note is that if we look at the Euro US dollar on the daily chart, it's been in an uptrend, and at this point here at start of the month it broke that uptrend, but really we've been sort of going sideways. And if we actually take a look, in the middle of this week there was a massive fall in the Euro US dollar. That was off some positive news from the US dollar. So the US dollar is showing some recovery, the economy and that, but the problem with that is that we're also getting counter news out from the Eurozone, and at the moment it's really sort of not following any, I suppose, technical analysis. If you look here, we have an area of resistance which was drawn across here, which became support as the price fell down to it. It then broke below it. So if we were trading technically, we'd be looking to take a short off this area, and what's actually happened is price has just broken back through it, come all the way back up, has possibly, you could say, it's used it as an area of support here once there was the collapse in price on Wednesday of this week. So from that side we're sitting here looking at, well, that looks like support. It looks like it's had a small pullback, but price is going to continue to rise on the euro against the US dollar based on current performance. So this is slightly difficult to analyse and to be able to catch a good trade from. If we take a look at some other US dollar pairs, we can see that often don't necessarily stick with one particular pair because it might not be performing at the moment. You can't trade it, there's no opportunity, so look for an alternative pair that you can trade. So we're going to go and take a look at some others, and we'll pull out the ones that have been trading according to the rules of technical analysis. And here we have the Australian dollar against the US dollar. We can see that what's happened is since September of this year, the Aussie dollar was gaining strength against the US dollar, but it reached an area of resistance up here at the 0.97 level. It pulled down, created a lower high, so by drawing just a line from there to there, we can see we've now got a trend line, and price has actually come down into an area of previous support where it's turned and pushed up, and an area here where it was previously support and broke through it then became resistance, and it bounces off the trend line as well. So we've also got the moving averages turning over and all that. So all of this is coming together to say, right, this is a great place in which to sell. So if we look at the high of here, which is the 0.9446, and then we go to the next candle, the high was the 0.9446 again. So we're sitting there saying that's a great area to sell. Where this line was drawn is the 0.9425, so slightly lower. But if we'd have taken a short at that point, where price is today, what's the low of here where it closed? Down at the 96.67 from a high up there of 94. So we're roughly 200 points up in that trade. So rather than try and look at another currency pair and try and crowbar that currency pair into your trading style, look for the pair that is trading according to the way in which you trade. You know, a perfect example here. Nice, pulls down, bounces off support, pulls back up, creates a point for the trend line. I mean, obviously I've adjusted this trend line according to the next one. That would have been slightly lower, but we could see here, then turns around, comes down, pushes back up into an area of resistance. We get closed there, and then it's turned and it's pushed all the way down. Also, the fact is that because of this bearish candlestick that's engulfed the bullish candlestick, it's another confirmation that price wants to go down. So if you'd have sold at this point and you'd have seen that candlestick form afterwards, you'd be sitting there going, yep, no problem, stick with the trade, because it's showing that the momentum is down. If it's not doing that, if you want to become an expert in trading the Euro US dollar and it's not doing things like that, then you can't trade the Euro US dollar. Look for an alternative currency pair to trade. So that's a good just summary of the week. The euro's been bouncing up and down sideways. It's been pushing up higher, but it's also been showing a lot of indifference and indecision. In contrast, the Aussie against the US dollar is showing clear confirmation it's in a downtrend. So look for the pullbacks from which you can take a short and make profit from. And that's FountainFX for this week. Happy trading. Talk to you next week. Thanks very much.